expensive bids on rod stuff. He's got lots of dead stuff.
Over the top of his house there.
Yeah. And a bunch of it breaking off.
There's some nasty trees in our town. I guess age is kind of catching up with them. We've kind of got that point where a lot of them are about at the same age, and they're just not as frisky as they were younger.
Tired. I don't know. One day did he seem like extremely long. Have a secretary like mine. It takes about 30 to do. She's just a pain in the ass.
I heard that.
We're getting a new police officer tonight.
Getting him some sworn in.
Sworn in. Good. Looks like he's going to keep him son.
They're swearing at somebody. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Would you please rise and say the pledge with us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, I'm going to swear in our new police officer.
Did you give him a copy so he can read it?
No, I'll say it really slow.
In small
Enunciate.
chunks.
You can read his.
He always reads too
There we
much.
go. So he has one to read.
I was just thinking to myself, if I knew that was coming,
Okay. I state your name.
I, Dalton Minsos,
Do solemnly swear that I will support and obey and defend the Constitution of the United States.
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
That I have not knowingly violated any law to my election or appointment.
that I have not knowingly violated any law related to my election or appointment
Or caused it to be done by others.
or caused it to be done by others,
And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
All right, so Officer Mensis brought his canine. Canine, you were with him, then we're going to talk to him real quick so he can come in and you guys can take a look at him as well.
Good.
All right. Welcome, Colder.
So Officer Mensis just moved into town, just got a new house, so his dog's been a little hyper the last couple of days, so we figured he didn't want to come in for this. So he's going to bring him in just so if you guys have any questions, anything like that, you guys can take a look at him, meet him. He is ready to go to work, so might be a little bouncy.
Demo.
No demo of the work.
Anyone would like to.
Is it time to leave now?
Go for it, Russ.
Better check.
He's a very well-disciplined dog. I've seen him work quite a bit. He's actually very impressed, so I think we definitely made a good decision with him for sure.
How long has he had it?
He's out there going, do I have to go in there? Do I have to go in there?
Well, he's been handling it 5 years, I guess. Actually, that's a question you could ask him for as long as he's believe it's 2 with his dog.
Oh, you good boy. Hi, buddy.
He's like getting his arm on him. Take that off my face.
I'm ready to play. What's his name?
Igor.
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 So how old is Igor?
Ice 3.
3.
Great.
Hi, buddy.
How long have you had him though?
I've had him 2 years.
Beautiful boy. Beautiful dog.
Yeah.
He's a very beautiful dog.
He's like, I want to on my face.
What are we doing here?
I hope I never meet him on business terms.
Do we have any other questions or maybe want a picture?
What are the specialties? I know we talked about this months ago, what we wanted, but
I'll let
okay.
Handler answer that for you.
Yep, so he's trained obviously in drug detection, so 5 odors, marijuana, methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl. He's also trained in evidence recovery. So like somebody flees from the scene, ditches like a screwdriver or something, he can search for that. Tracking, and then obviously apprehension, like suspect apprehension.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him after me.
You go
Thank you.
first, Roy.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
A
Rob.
lot of energy.
Did we get a vehicle outfitted?
We did. We just got it back actually last week. So he's in a vehicle on the street. So we got everything straightened out through the attorneys and contracts and everything. So he's actually out working, and Officer Mintz just completed his FTO program, so he is also out on the street.
Cool.
Very cool. Welcome.
Well, welcome to Glenrock.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome both of you to town.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Off of me.
Let's
I
go.
feel that way all the time.
I want to go eat.
It's big with sharp teeth.
Do we have any additions or deletions? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the council minute meetings of September 8th and work session of September 15th?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
I wasn't
Report.
sure if they're right or not. I mean, to be honest, I don't know if it was right or not.
Reports. Councilwoman Collins.
I don't have anything this evening.
Okay. Councilwoman Nunn.
Yes, I have the answer to your 2 questions you asked. How is the gatehouse being heated, and what is done with the oil collected? The gatehouse is being heated by electricity. At one time, an attempt was made to use collected oil for a heat source, but the oil was contaminated with, among other things, a lot of antifreeze to a point that it was an unreliable source. The oil collected is now picked up by a company, and I didn't get their name, that takes such oil and clean it so it can be used. The company charges nothing for collecting or removing the oil, and the landfill charges the company nothing for the oil, so we're kind of at one of those stages. The solution for the water tank problem in the gatehouse was to get 4 separate smaller tanks. Knife River is responsible for removing the 2 big tanks. The Greens Department had a harvest day for the Boys and Girls Club when 27 children came back to the garden to harvest the vegetables they had planted in the Three Sisters garden in the spring. Danny reported it was a pleasure to see children proudly leaving the garden carrying food that they had planted as a seed. And a composting class with attendance from across the state was conducted by a composting expert from Maine. It was a most successful learning for all in attending. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Kincaid.
Just a short thing, we did have a special meeting at the hospital board this week on real estate, and drafted a letter that was sent to the steering committee. So you should be receiving that, and then we can proceed with some meetings, and we'll talk probably more about it at our monthly hospital meeting this Thursday. So
Okay.
don't want to go into it too much, but we have moved on it. So
Okay.
that's it.
Councilman Delger.
I don't have a lot. I attended the University of Wyoming football game at Town Square this weekend. It was very well attended for being a late game. I was surprised there was that many people there. It wasn't a good game, but it was a good event. That's all I got.
Okay.
Should have went the other one.
Tammy, clerk.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I don't really have anything out of the ordinary. I actually did want to comment. I spent quite a bit of time on Saturday at the Greens Department, and he is a busy guy. He was so busy every time I went up there, and it looks so nice and clean. So I appreciated that. But the only thing I needed from you guys was to decide on the next work session. We can do October 6th or October 20th. Those are the two off Mondays.
October 6th. 20th?
6 or 20.
I might be looking for the property. I think I'm good. Either one for me, guys.
I'm good.
Do you want to go with the 6th?
Let's go with the
Let's go
6th.
6, okay.
That's all I have.
I'm going to send out an invitation for that.
Yep.
Thank you. Kelly, treasurer.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Started work today on the F-66. It's due by the 30th, so prayers, please. That'll be good. Finished up all the month-end payroll reports, quarterly workers' comp, and just working on that kind of thing. That's all I have.
Okay. John, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. With the help of Kelly and the engineer, we've been working on, we finalized the location of our water line main coming into town from the well 1 into town. We've located all that. They're going to start surveying that. They're working on a grant from WWDC. We met with a representative from them last week, and he walked the line. We took him out and seen the start and end point and a few places in between. I think that went well. I hope so, because we're been working with another individual on tuning our SCADA system and finding other little issues within the water system that we can work on to repair it to make it work better. Other than that, we've been just doing mostly all our regular chores. That's all I got. Thank you.
Is that system fairly old?
Which system? The
Your
SCADA?
SCADA? Or has it been updated in the last 2
I
years?
don't know that it's been updated a lot, but he's checking on some things that we can do. I think it's working pretty good. It's just that wasn't being utilized to its potential. And there was a lot of stuff that wasn't set up when it was altered. So he's tuning it the way we want it to work, so we can see more of the process and see more of the information coming in.
Yeah, I know in the past,
Be
I
able to
heard that it
generate-
wasn't doing everything that
No.
people wanted to do
No,
before you.
it wasn't hardly doing anything, and now we'll be able to generate reports of it for the state. We can fine tune on and find out where our water's going. We'll be able to see what's being pumped and what's coming to town, and if there's a discrepancy in between, and we're starting to identify that. We're also, another thing we're doing is finding meters that haven't been working, and we're trying to repair that in our system too, because there's quite a few of them out there. That's always a hunt. Any other questions?
Oh, they've been putting a lot of time in it. It's really good. When it
It's-
gets done, it'll be working right and working well.
You can get a lot of information out of it if it works right.
So I'm learning. Thank you.
Wow, building inspector.
Evening, Mayor and Council. 89 permits to date. Tree applications are pretty steady. Roofing's pretty busy. I attended the Wild Pass training class last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Sheridan. Pretty interesting stuff. A lot of information about GIS, geographical information systems, so mapping of everything in the state, and every city is mapping their city, and as it gets more and more involved, it just gets more and more complicated. So they're adding a layer for zoning, and then they're adding a layer for topographical, and then they add another layer. Pretty soon you got all these layers, and one of the problems they have is no one's doing it quite exactly the same, so there's no standard, so you can't just take this guy's information and transfer it to this guy and be able to use it. So they're trying to standardize that a little bit. That was kind of interesting. And then Russ probably knows about this, the next gen 911 coming out. I hadn't heard about it, but so they're collecting data from every county in the state. We're one of the 4 counties in the state that has 0 data submitted. And apparently, and that was kind of surprising for me, but apparently we just hired somebody on that side of the game, and we're going to start inputting data, so that was kind of interesting.
We meaning the county?
I think it was the county.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I mean, it sounds like they might be a little bit behind, but it sounds like they got somebody, so that's
They're very far behind.
great news. But and we were one of 4 with nothing in the system, so that was kind of interesting. And then the first day and a half, I think a lot of talks about funding. A lot of planners that are terrified that property taxes being reduced, they're not going to have money. And what killed me was there's no talk about you may end up reducing the size of government over time. That's not in the discussion. So, yeah, that was interesting to hear. So that's all I got.
Chevy.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. We had the UW tailgate and football game this weekend, and it was actually very well attended. The tailgate started at 6 to 6:30 p.m., and the game actually was scheduled at 8:15, but it didn't get started until around 8:30. So, but it was a great game, great event. Next is just starting all over and working towards next year. I have a couple new events in mind to add to next summer. So once I kind of get those solid and see how they're going to work, I will definitely bring them up. But they're kind of exciting. I'm excited for them.
I think your year went really well.
It did.
We appreciate everything you do.
Yeah.
Thank
It's been
you.
a good year.
Thank you.
Calder, Chief of Police.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Not a whole lot today, just getting ready for Wild West Fest. I've got the high schools having homecoming this week, so got the parade and the football game and the dance and volleyball games this weekend, and trying to put people in places to help out with that. And then one thing that I did while I was writing stuff down, I forgot. It was a few weeks ago now, but I had attended a school board meeting, and they wanted me to make sure you guys were aware of how thankful they are for the SRO that we have been providing. So, good things for sure said there. That's it.
Okay. Jeff, Fire Department.
Mayor, Council, you guys can tell when you go to the post office, we started neighborhood beautification.
Are you
process
fixing it or
down
just
there.
tearing it all down?
Well, it's going, it's snail pace, kind of like that addition back there. Hopefully this week they'll get the footer poured for that retaining wall, and then they'll finish up the building removal across the street this week, and we'll, once that's done, we got 2 bids in for doing the wall across the way. We're waiting on one more, and then we'll get that retaining wall done, and the parking lot kind of where it's usable anyway, get it backfilled and everything where it's low, but we've had a truck that we lost a tank on one of the grass fires this summer, so we just got it back up and running. Had to buy a new tank for it. Not a planned thing, but we got one from the state forestry. They had one in stock, so not a real long turnaround. The last tank we ordered, I think, was about 8 or 10 months to get. So something about COVID, I don't know. I think that's getting a convenient crutch for everybody. But and other than that, we're just kind of plugging along. Had some guys go down to Douglas's first fire school at their new training center this last weekend. Haven't had any feedback on it yet, so they've got one under their belt. We'll see how it goes. But anything for us, I guess. We'll try and
I think for right now, I know next week we have pre-bid meetings for all 3 projects, the storage building, And the addition to the fire hall and the bathroom for the Veterans Park is a pre-bid meeting, and then the bids will be open the following, I think, Wednesday or Thursday here at Town Hall, and then we'll decide on which projects we will go forward with.
Okay, did they give you any preliminary numbers at all? No? Okay.
They just got all that out, or Rhett got it out because it had to be done by the, there was a little miscommunication of getting it out and letting us know that he'd already put it in the paper. We were starting to get phone calls, and it's like, well, what are you talking about?
Okay.
But, so we've kind of got that straightened out between him, so he's getting all that information to Ray, and it's getting to me and getting to John, so we all know what's going on. So
And what day's
it's next Wednesday, I believe, in the morning, isn't it, John? Or second, let me look at my phone, I can tell you.
try and get Sean or somebody to come in and...
Your pre-bid meetings, we start those at 10 o'clock in the morning on the 25th. We'll start over at on 8th Street where the storage building goes, and we'll look at all three projects. And then on the 2nd, which is a Thursday also, Nick, the following Thursday on October 2nd will be, well, not that one, let's see, they moved it, it's... They gave it, okay, the bid openings for them, they give it an extra week in there, so it's the actual bid opening on those will be on the 16th of October.
Okay.
We also will have I believe it would be bid opening for the fencing for the shooting range on October 8th. So we'll have bids, we'll open bids for the fencing for the down out there for the shooting range also. So that just keeps all of you up on what's going on in our first meeting in this fiscal year for Joint Powers Board is 8th at 7 a.m. in Glenrock. They moved it.
I guess the only other thing I got is come out Friday night to the tailgate. We're going to do the barbecue for the post-prom thing. All the money goes to the post-prom after their dance and stuff, so anything they get goes to that. So thank you guys. Have a good evening.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have a couple of things tonight that I'd like to visit with you about. First of all, I'd like to just give you kind of an official roundup on the rendezvous. It was an amazing year this year. Every year it gets better. This year we had a few hiccups, and we'll always have hiccups. And I mean, we can sit back and kind of giggle about it a little bit now because we had a couple of vendors move in on Thursday. Well, Thursday night the water came on. And the one vendor, bless her heart, I wished I'd have been there, but only a mouse in the corner, because she had her table out and she was in front of that sprinkler and she was fighting the sprinkler to keep it off of the other gal's stuff that she had set up. And she said, man, she said, there's a lot of power behind that sprinkler, because it was hitting the table, and she was trying to redirect it away from the other vendor. And I mean, everything was fine. We didn't have any damage. Everything got dried out and everything was fine. And John, bless his heart. Sometimes I think those guys down there, you guys don't really realize what a amazing public works you have. And I swear, sometimes I hide under the table when they see me coming. But that's okay. That's okay, because sometimes I think maybe they should. But anyway, it was really great. We had 40 dogs for the dog trials, and what a lot of people don't realize is that you have 40 dogs, but each dog runs one time, and the sheep can't be run again. So each dog runs 3 sheep. So that's 120 sheep. And boners bring them in. Brad brings them in and takes them home. It's 4 loads. So, it's just a great thing to see what our community does to help us out. We had 25 wagons this year, which was up a little bit from last year. We had a great Dutch oven class this year, a cook-off. It was really, really good this year, and we've got plans already for next year on that. We did a new mutton busting this year,
which scared the living jujubes right out of me. I'm going, I don't know about this, guys, and they all assured me everything would be fine, and everything was. There was 20 kids, and they had a blast. They absolutely had a blast. Our vendors were full. We had 16, 18 vendors, something like that, and so many of them were wool products or things that had to do with heritage stuff, and it was great to see some other things, some unique things there, and a lot of them said to me, we don't care if we sell anything or not. We don't really care. We have had such a good time here, we're coming back. So that's always really good. We had some last minute pullouts, which is always a real challenge because then we don't know how to fill in some of those things. You know, we had a lamb tasting scheduled. That didn't come out. But like I said, for next year, we're already kind of that. We may have to be looking for another source of lamb next year. We don't know yet how all that's going to work out, but we're working on some things. We are working on some things. So it's just the senior citizen dinner on Friday was a sellout. They got rid of all their burgers and hot dogs. So it has grown also, and next year we've got to do a little bit with our music. We've got to upgrade our music a bit, but it'll all happen. It'll all happen. And without the support of all you guys, the town support is absolutely amazing. And I thank you. I thank you all. It was just an amazing year. The other thing I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about is the 250-year Wyoming grant. This grant is from $2,500 to $25,000 grant. And how I kind of fell into this was we have one of our committee members that for several years has said, we need a flagpole in the park. And he just keeps it up. You know, we need a flagpole in the park. I said, okay, and my brain just kicked in. It's like, okay, I had heard about this grant and realized that there was some money available, so I called them. And I said, would a flagpole, would that work? And they said, yes, that would qualify, as long as we, have a plaque on it and all that kind of stuff. So my vision is a 40-foot flagpole, and Lyle has been great about helping me with this little project, bless his heart. A 40-foot flagpole with 2 flags on a base. I'm not sure exactly, have you got a dimension on that, Lyle?
I don't. It's like when we put town square basically.
Yeah, it'll be a base that'll set on, but on that base, we'd like to see 3 benches. One would be, would say, similar, I don't know exactly, don't have it figured out yet, but like 250 years of freedom on one bench with maybe an old-fashioned flag there. The next one would honor the Oregon Trail, which passes right through the park, right directly where we are. And the third would be promoting the rendezvous and preservation of the sheep industry. And those 3 benches would sit around facing into that flag, and it would be on a lighted, as the lights would go on all the time. So as far as location, there's a couple locations that I think I want you guys to think about. One of them is kind of in the triangle in the middle there, right in the middle where our vendors were this year. There's a place in the middle of that where there is no power poles, and it's pretty well open. The other place, which I think would be the best, but I'm not the only say here, where the main pavilion is, you drive in the park, you take a turn and you drive, there's a fence right there, you park in front of the pavilion, you walk up that path that goes to the pavilion. Right there in that corner, west of that walk right there, there's a perfect spot, in my opinion. There's no big trees there. There's a small tree. There's grass there. It would be visible throughout the park. Anybody that's using that pavilion would have it right there to use as they see fit. And there's power at that pavilion, so I don't think it would be hard to get the power over there.
Did you do solar on that, though? Maybe?
You're going to have that
Oh, we never thought about that.
That needs to be part of your grant application.
We could check that out and see. It's like I say, $2,500 to $25,000. When I checked for benches, I think the best thing to do would be the granite benches coming from the Casper Monument. I have a quote, a bid for them. It's $2,400 for each bench, but it's about the same as a concrete bench. They don't allow concrete in the cemeteries anymore, so I think we should stick with that because they will deteriorate. A granite bench is not going anywhere. And they would do the engraving and the installation for free. It's included in that price. And, I mean, you've seen the monuments at the cemeteries. They do beautiful work. So we could have a great design on each one of those. And I've already got a letter of support from the county commissioners, and Tammy is working on a letter of support coming from the town council. And I think I've got Lala's working on invoice for the pole, and I'll get some quotes on flags. The concrete pad, we'll work on that, and a plaque to go up there that says exactly what it is. And I think our cost is going to be right at $25,000. I'll bet you anything we're going to be right there. So I just want to give you guys a heads up, and thank you for your support, and I'll just keep you posted.
You had a beautiful event down there, and I met a most interesting vendor who sold me some little wool pellets to plant with my tomatoes, claiming that they're going to be fantastic, so I can't wait for spring.
Okay, well, this is just a sideline. I just sent off 1,200 pounds of wool, and I'll be getting them back the end of this month, so I will have 1,200 pounds of pellets. So if anybody wants pellets, please let me know. All right, thank you.
Are you guys going to be able to reuse your signs from this year? Are you going to be able to reface them for next year? Those signs were beautiful.
The signs, yes, they're made to where we can peel off the date, and I've already started peeling those dates off, and then next year we just get more dates and stick them on there and use them again.
Those are beautiful signs.
Oh, thank you, because we haven't had much comment on that. We didn't, we didn't know, so, yeah.
Saw them all over. I liked them.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Any other items from the floor? If not, we'll move on to, looks like would be new business. First order of business is for, the event is Main Street Casino Night, and it's a 24-hour malt beverage catering permit from the Four Aces.
Yes.
To work the event, and it's in, what is it?
11/15.
November 15th, yeah. So, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the malt beverage for the casino night for Main Street for November 15th.
For the Four Aces.
For the Four Aces for the Main Street event.
Okay.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. This is their next fundraising campaign, money for the Veterans Park. That's what it's for. Next order of business is an appointment for the Town of Glenrock Board and Commissions for Gina Cron to the Tourism Board. Is there a motion?
I move we approve Gina Cron's application to be on the Tourism Board.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Did everybody read her paperwork there?
I did.
She sounds very qualified, like a very good person to have on. We're lucky to get her.
She would do a good job, so. Any questions or comments? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries.
Can I back up one? So this is the map for the beverage permit, correct?
That's the inside of
the rec center?
Yeah, that's inside. That's the gym in the rec center.
So have we had anybody else like that top one on the right?
Have we had anybody else apply?
So do they need to, or can they all run off of hers that she's doing?
No, if anybody else wants to sell, they have to come to their own.
That's what I was asking. Is it What is
Their
it?
first one, they had 2 different bars, or 2 or 3 bars doing it last time, and right now, as far as I know, they only have 1 lined up.
It looks like there's 3.
Deborah Ginger told me that, I think she said that there were going to be 2, but nobody else has come in yet.
Because it looks like on the bottom left, it says number 3, right? And then top right looks
That's
like
Kevin's bar, yeah. I'm going to guess they're going to try to get the Knotty Pine and the Ford back in there again, but those guys got to get their
Thing is.
soon.
That's kind of what I was asking.
That looks like the map for the same.
Yeah, I think that's.
No, it looks like the same last year.
This was the map for when they had it
If that's this year or if this is last year is what I'm trying to get
Well,
at.
she just brought it into me. She brought it into me specifically for this. If they could, if anybody else applies for one, if they can use the same map.
Okay.
So we just have the aces right now.
And they've got 3 or 30 days? Is that what we're sticking to?
30 days ahead of time, so that they got to get something in this first part of
The next couple.
our next council meeting in first part of October, or we're going to have a problem.
Okay. I was just reading that while we're doing
Yeah.
another thing. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Okay, no worries. Our next order of business is some tree grants. And the first one is for Rodney Fonts at 203 North 7th Street.
I'll make a motion. We approve the tree grant for Rodney Fonts on North 7th.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Man, there's a lot of old trees in that part of town.
Yeah, they're all neat.
And that'll be for
Desired.
1,000.
Yeah.
That's for, yeah, it's for 4,000, so we'd pay up to $1,000 on it.
Who was
Yeah.
the second?
What?
Roy.
You were the second.
Yes.
Roy second, so any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Our next order of business is there's a lot of pictures there.
For Mr. Voisey on South.
Yeah, I'm just getting through those. Would be for Dennis at the 119 South 9th. Needs tree trimmed up, starting to work on his shingles and everything on his house. Lyle got some people for us today, so is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. We approve the tree grant application for Mr. Voisey on South 9th.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
He says here on this that the low bid is 1,500, and I see one for 3,000. I don't see another one for 15.
The first one is from Tree Bees.
That's 15.
That's for
Okay,
15.
I can't read that.
Yeah, that one's 15, and then the
Okay.
next one was 3,000.
Paper or something comes through.
Yeah, his low bid was 1,500.
It's on the screen behind you right now, too, if you need to look at it. That's the 3, and then
That's
up
the
above is
three.
the 15.
Okay. This is one I could,
Yeah,
There's the
that's it
15.
right there.
Yeah. That was hard to read on our copy.
so this one would be for 700.
It'd be half, up to half, or up to 1,000 max, so it'd be 750.
Yep.
Or 50, yeah.
750.
So, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. I believe our next order of business is to pay our bills and claims.
I move we pay our bills and claims.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the council meeting this evening? If not, I would ask for somebody to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
How was your trip?
It was amazing. All worked out.
Once you got there, huh?
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Good.
It is beautiful.
I want to go back. Considering your travel, Maybe not.
I've been signing a lot of them. I've never been at the door here.
Is that an annual?
And have the pilot come out and say, "Sir, can you assist me?" I'm like, "What?" He says, "Turn around and get everybody out of this generator." I'm like, "Why?" He says, "I'm offloading the plane, get everybody out of the generator." I'm like, "Okay." And then they canceled the flight as soon as we got out.
Yeah.